Okay, great. So while we let people kind of make their way in, welcome to the ABM and Thought Leadership Combo webinar about the new GTM model presented by us at 42DM. So very happy to have you guys here. Just sound off in the chat where you're from. I see we've got people from Tulsa. I'd love to see where else. We've got people from New York, Ukraine, Trinidad and Tobago. So sort of all over the world. Let's go through the agenda while people start filing in here. So it's a lot to cover, but it's going to be very, very valuable. So the first part we're going to talk about is the problem. So why we feel like these GTM models broke. Moving then on to our solution, it's the combining of ABM and thought leadership, really, really targeting the content you're creating. Kate and Zuzana are going to go through that. We're going to share with you guys, of course, some real results and case studies. This isn't stuff we're making up. It's stuff we've tested and tried and found to work. We'll share with you some LinkedIn mastery and content strategy that'll help you implement it for yourself. And of course, the tech stack and strategy that goes along with that. We do have an exclusive offer that's limited to 10 people, but I will talk about that at the end, so stick around for that. And of course, if you have any questions, use the Q&A function, and we'll answer them at the end of the webinar. So that is our agenda for today. I see we've got people filing in. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our team and our hosts. And first up, we have myself, of course. I'm Robert DeGans. I'm a business development executive at 42DM, and I can be handling your questions after this. If we could just go to the next slide. I don't know if it's stuck on my end. Perfect. And we've got Kate Vasilenko, our CEO. She's got over 2 decades of experience in marketing, member of the CMO Alliance. She's a former Forbes Agency Council member. She's really knowledgeable in B2B go-to-market and has delivered B2B growth for hundreds of clients, from startups all the way up to large corporations. So if you're in this room, we've got you covered. Supporting her, of course, is going to be Zuzana Makowska. She's got over 7 years in experience in marketing and a lot of social media and thought leadership experience. That has resulted in really great pipeline growth for a lot of our clients. She is the creative force behind a multitude of successful thought leaders in B2B tech. Now, that's who's talking to you, but who are we as 42DM? We are a full service B2B marketing agency, and the few key things I want you to remember about us: we're super agile. That means we build custom plans that are right for you right now and flexible enough to evolve as you grow your business. We're Gen AI and MarTech forward, meaning that we can automate a lot of your marketing. And we're B2B focused, which means we're excellent at finding your target audience and expert at helping you eloquently describe some of those technical B2B and SaaS services that you've got going on. And of course, no good company would be complete without a Hall of Fame. These are just some of our favorite clients. We'd love to add your logo up there. Mine, of course, is Payoneer, because that's a favorite way for me to get paid. But as you can see, from large to small enterprises, we cover them all. See, we've got a lot of attendees here, so this is a perfect time to actually hand over to Kate to get things started. Kate, over to you.
Rob, thanks for the intro, and hello everyone. My name is Kate Vasilenko, and we are here today to talk about go-to-market shift. And a lot of us felt in the beginning of 2025. It's middle of July, another sunny and very hot day in New York City, and a perfect point to look back at the first half of the year results. Quick question to the room. Who's seen at least one core channel, email, LinkedIn, SEO, or paid ads, drop in performance this year, even though you are running it with the best practice playbook in your pocket? Please put plus in the chat if you feel it. We need to see how widespread the challenge is. Okay, that's good start. And it's interesting how we connect this thing. Okay, AI was sold to all of us as an ultimate growth hack, amplifier, and the way to do more with less. And that is exactly what everybody CEO is telling any CMO or marketing manager in B2B tech. You have AI, you can do more with less, so do it. But reality, it made most B2B brands sound the same. And that is why buyers are tuning out, even when your targeting is spot on. Email open rate dropped by 38% this year. LinkedIn replies are down by 27%. In my personal experience, I don't know what are you feeling, I'm getting over 30 so-called personalized AI emails every day. Not one hits the mark, everything is deleted, and I'm just afraid to lose messages from my customers in all of this amazing AI flood. And even the strong campaigns are getting buried in this AI-like mess and AI-generated content. Because right now, unfortunately, AI amplified the volume, but not the value. So that caused the trust faded, and a lot of companies feel that performance has tanked. So that is exactly what we will be talking about today, how to fix this challenge and what is this challenge actually about. I would say this is a trust crisis, and we as B2B marketers somehow hit the trust wall. Buyers are filtering out anything that feels templated, generic, robotic, because we have a lot of this content around us right now, thanks to amazing tools that we have in our disposal. This isn't just a creativity problem anymore, it's becoming a credibility problem. And if we do not fix it now, our best ideas will keep getting ignored. And that is a huge challenge for any marketer who is building expensive, highly targeted, and really cool campaigns. Because everybody is doing the same, even the great things can spill because people are actually learning to be blind to what we are sending to them. So, what to do if everything you've been told to should work doesn't work the way you expect? That's a very good question. And if something was, I would say, challenged by people, probably the people are the ones who need to fix it back. Just probably not the way you expect it. It's not about people fixing amazing automations. It's actually about people starting building the relevance and trust. And that only comes when the real experts speak to the experts, when real voices lead to the conversation. Then we can get buyers' attention back. And that's how trust gets rebuilt. Why we are sure that this works? Because it's interesting enough that more than half of C-level executives spend more than 1 hour a day reading thought leadership posts. 2/3 say that the things they read impact their buyer's decision. And that's amazing. That means this is our very, very small door to slip in and build the desired outcomes and build our pipelines. So in 2025, trust isn't a nice to have shiny thing. It's a core strategy for every B2B tech company. And the best way to build it is through real thought leadership, not another AI flood content with generic insights. Real insights, your real pains and mistakes that you have, and what conclusions you come up with, and the wins, and building those relations with your real authentic voices. It's very hard when you start, but as soon as you keep doing that, the momentum is growing and you are starting to actually build the relations that can be converted into the pipeline. And now it's a quick question to you guys. Whoever has chosen the vendor based on the content they published on social media. Have you ever heard like, oh, this is an amazing post. I want to chat to these guys and I want to work with them. Please put plus in the comment if it's about you. And the next question is, what made you click? For me, for example, in the most of the cases, it will be memes or jokes, because I believe that the best way and the best conversation starter is humor. And it is an amazing way to build this authentic connection with the audience. So, but is this leadership enough for us? Unfortunately not, but because even if you get an amazing content, and Zuzana later will share how to build this content today, even if you have this amazing content in place, The challenge is if nobody sees this content or it is seen by irrelevant people, that doesn't matter. If the right people don't hear it, it won't move the needle for your pipeline. And that's where ABM comes in. It is the amplifier that turns your thought leadership into the pipeline. ABM gets your voices, best voices, in front of the right people, in the right accounts, at the right timing. Not by blasting the content out there, but by building relationships at scale. So that's exactly the way how to go-to-market strategy can be built and rebuilt in 2025 by combining thought leadership and ABM that is rooted in signal, substance, and scale. And that is how exactly you can break through the AI noise created by all of the market players right today. But the next interesting question is how to do it actually work. So how to make this combo works. We thought about that a lot. And this, strangely enough, the best analogy we came up with was landed not in the marketing, but more in modern day dating. Now, hear me out here, because the overlap between today's GTM and how people are dating in the age of algorithms is surprisingly real. So, how do you build the high impact GTM strategy today? Isn't that different from how you're finding the right partner on dating app? At first, you filter out with firmographics, like someone's job, industry, or company size, just like dating. Like, remember this? Work in finance, 6'5", blue eyes, you know, the ideal TikTok dream guy everybody was talking not so long ago. Sounds great on paper, but real alignment is not coming from there. It comes from the use case. Do they want the same future? Are they ready to invest in it now? Do our goals even match? In short run, in long run, can we build this partnership? That's what we call relevance. Not just targeting the right accounts, but knowing they have the problem your product solves and are open to solving it, at least at somehow nearest future. Then comes the trust, because, okay, we have the information and insights that we can be matched, but we need the best, even for the best match to move forward, we need to have this click moment. And that's where thought leadership builds the connection, because you're sharing your voice, your quirks, and your unique take on the world. The part that makes them say, okay, this is the kind of partner I want to build the relationship with, that this is my kind of partner. And of course, all the way down, it's about timing. You need to show up with the right message in the right format when they are ready, not when it's convenient for you, or you want to close your deal, or you want to hit the targets by the end of the quarter. That's what we call adaptive delivery. And one more thing, pretty important one. When you're not just dating, but want to build a serious relationship, you are dating not a one person. There is the friends group, the family group, the co-workers. You don't win the deal until everyone is on board with you. That's why we do not rely on solo founders' voices when we build the thought leadership strategy. We mirror the buying committee with the real voices from your team. Tech leaders with tech leaders, visionary to visionary, and operators to operators. It's not about broadcasting louder, it's about actually becoming undeniably right choice for them now. That's how you break through the AI noise in the era of changing the GTM, AI noise, and modern dating. So what do you need to do? You need to pick up the relevant accounts that's showing pain you solve. You build trust with them with multiple expert voices, one persona each, and you deliver the right content with the right channel at the right moment with adaptive delivery. Everything combined together is a compound trust, something that none of the AIs can fake. And as a result of this combo working, you are building a real and lasting relationship with ideally happily ever after. So here comes the question. Is this model for everybody? Probably not. But how can you identify if this model right for you? So let's not, if you say yes to the following questions. Are you selling to high ticket deals? Are you having the high ticket deals? Do you sell to multiple decision makers? Do you have the long sales cycle where the trust is actually the must and you are not converting if you haven't built it? If you've been nodding at all of those or some of those questions, then yes, this strategy will move the needle for you. And we can jump into the next details. Okay, we will talk about each of the pillars of the framework that we are sharing with you through the next couple of slides. It will be about relevance, about how to build trust, and how to build the adaptive delivery engine. And we are starting with relevance I already told, be it firmographics probably is not enough to build the lasting relations and to build the real trust with the accounts. You need to go beyond that. You need to identify the use case that this company facing. For example, mid-sized retail tech companies modernizing for AI is a way better segment than retail tech companies hiring data scientists. But retail tech company hiring data scientists can be a component of the segment. So you can sort out the companies, but you need more than just that. That's what we call use case targeting. And it really works because it's much easier to connect with the companies that potentially have the problem you are solving. In order for that to work, you of course need a tool set. Like you can use Apollo, Clay, Loyi, and Bombora to build your target account list. But that's not only about the tools, it's about actually knowing which tool has what intent signal and how to connect them properly. It's a GTM engineering, building those target account lists. It's becoming an increasingly popular task and very interesting to solve challenge. So you need to keep first target account list you have pretty focused, 1,000, 2,000 accounts. And you need to score them based on different signals and focus precisely on the personas who feel the pain.
Okay, I've got one. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to jump in here. Out of everyone in the chat, all the the logos we're seeing there, how many of you use one or more of these already? I'd love to see that in the chat.
Okay, that's a great question. Let's see. Guys, what do you use? Do you use Apollo? Do you use Clay? Do you use ZoomInfo? 6sense? I want a 6sense user, but a demand-based user. Okay. Anybody is using anything to build the target account list here? Okay, we will chat about that later, I hope. Okay, so when we build this amazing target account list, and we are sure that they have the evidence of having amazing, this is a great combo actually, Apollo and Clay, amazing combo, we use it a lot with our customers. Okay, so that's how you move from the list to the pipeline. I think the Cognism is because you are targeting more European audience, and that's how the Cognism is coming up. Great. So we have the target account list. Now it's time to build the trust. And that is like, in our agency, the best trust builder is Zuzana. And I'm passing the word to you to share how we will be building trust for our thought leaders with the target account list.
Thanks, Kate. That's the best introduction I could imagine. So hi, everyone. I'm Susanna. And yes, I'm here to talk about proven tips on thought leadership on LinkedIn. So let's dive into it. When it comes to building trust and scale, it's all about forming a thought leadership committee, which Kate kind of signaled to you already. What we mean by that is that you bring together your executives with external voices. And these external voices could be influencers, could be advisors, anyone who can help you create content that's truly valuable and straightforward, and of course, aligned with your objectives. When you already have this committee, you focus on topics that resonate. And these could be, for example, industry updates, although with some commentary from the people, leadership advice, practical guides, case studies, even your own missteps and the lessons from them, which might be hard, but it really brings some results. But whatever topic you choose, I would say that authenticity is key here. And you heard at the beginning that I run profiles for some people, which might seem not so authentic for you, but we work with them by interviewing them, staying in close relationship with them, and I always use their real voice, which you will see later on in our case study. So basically, remember to be honest, to share your experiences, the successes, the challenges. All of this encourages genuine discussions and genuine relationships. So when you have the topics, you have the committee, and now it's time to work on your LinkedIn activity. And you do it by using organic activities and targeted paid promotion. I would say that it's best to begin with organic efforts because first you have to test what's going on, how your target audience reacts, and whether you're going in the right direction. So how to do it, how to test it? First of all, you need to post consistently. And by that, I mean, for example, the same day every week, or it can be daily, but at the same time. And also you need to identify your audience. To identify your audience, you can use searches, and these can be built-in searches that LinkedIn offers. So you can filter people by location, by job titles, by industries. You can also find the company that would be your ideal client and check its employee list. You can also simply search in Google because actually LinkedIn is positioned really well in Google search results. You can check who's viewing your profile. You can see who's attending events that you're attending or that are relevant to your industry. And when you find these people, unfortunately, your job is not done yet because now it's time for you to engage with them. And here comes commenting on their posts, DMing them, but thoughtfully, by adding value, by starting discussions, basically engaging with them in any way possible under other people's posts, under their posts, and in private messages. And that's the way to grow your audience and get their attention organically. So then you add paid efforts because you already tested the ground and you can identify your top performing posts. And these are the posts you want to boost as ads. But about paid promotion, Kate will tell you in more detail later on. And I would like to show you how this works in action in our client case study. So this case study is built on our cooperation with a software development company with a solid brand page, but zero employee activity on LinkedIn, or at least that's how it was before they came to us. So the goal of our joint activities was to turn C-level and business-oriented people into thought leaders that would later on attract inbound leads. So we started by building this committee. As I told you before, it's super important. And in this case, it was the committee of 4. And they were chosen to cover different roles, but also different industries, because this company we're cooperating with operates within 4 main industries. So we began cooperation with interviews so that we can explore the specialties of these people, their area of expertise, but also their authentic style, how they talk, what they want to talk about, what their interests are. And all of this was in order to develop personal brands that suited these people, that were authentic to them, but also resonated with their audience. From there, we tailored strategies. And in this case, strategies mean specific topics, the niche that we will be posting about, perspectives of these thought leaders, personas, both of the leaders and of their target audience. And at the end came implementation. By implementation, we mean here that we consistently created and posted on their behalf, either weekly or daily, depending on the person, and delivered high-value insights with a personal element. So both insights and this personal element were coming from the actual thought leaders. And the results, well, you can see the results on the slide, but just to summarize it quickly, we grew LinkedIn engagement for them. We increased recognition, and it was both for these people and for the company itself. And most importantly, we achieved direct inbound conversations with prospects. So all these results are the power of putting real voices in front of the right audience. Here, let's break down how we made it work so you can see the exact process that you can mimic later on for yourself. As you can see here, we have the committee presented because, as Kate told you before, in 2025, your buyer isn't really one person. So one person inside your company cannot speak to all the people that are involved in decision-making and in the whole process. One person cannot be relevant to all the people that are out there. So step one is to find the ideal committee for your company and for your target audience. Basically, you need a few people in your company that are ready to build their personal brand on LinkedIn. And I know sometimes it might be difficult, but to help you find the right volunteers, it's important to remember that this activity boosts your company, but also their own expert status. So they also gain something out of it. And this committee needs to be diversified, so you need to mix roles. As Kate told you, CTOs should be speaking to tech leaders, CMOs to marketing leads, marketing pros, and founders. They should be sharing their vision. They should be a more inspirational figure, more inspirational persona on LinkedIn. What do you do it for? Because these people speak the same language as their audience. They face similar issues, and all of this makes them more relatable. I don't know how you feel it, but I know that I feel more understood by people who share the same position as me. I feel like they know my struggles and they would give me a better advice because they understand my whole context. So question to you, who here has someone in their company, could be CTO, could be CMO, maybe someone on your team who would be great at this, at posting on LinkedIn, at sharing their advice, at showcasing their personality? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious if you see such personalities around you. And in the meantime, let's move to LinkedIn algorithm in 2025. Basically, I will tell you how to stand out amid all the noise on LinkedIn. But an important thing to note here is that this is what worked for our client, and it can slightly differ for different audiences, for their preferences. And also LinkedIn algorithm keeps changing like crazy. So we need to remember that and pay attention to all the changes. So in the case of the software development company we work with, videos perform best, and they actually gave us 23% more reach. These videos are especially the ones when you have one person, they speak directly to the camera, they address the audience, they speak simple language, and are usually supported with subtitles, so the audience can follow them easily. Then text with single image also increased engagement for us by 11.5%. And there's also this golden rule, which is relevant for all the audiences. Basically, it means that whatever happens to your post within first 60 minutes will define its reach. And a practical advice from this is that you could even attract people to your content. You can tip them that there's something new appearing, but only as long as it's relevant for them. And here's also a silver lining that you can see in this little frame. 44% of posts stay active beyond 24 hours. So even if you don't make this impact within the first hour, you still have a chance to get the engagement you need. For the three remaining ones, or actually two, LinkedIn is a platform that promotes networking, and this is super important to remember. So comments are the most important for your reach, and specifically their quality. So when you get these comments like great content or somebody clapping, this probably won't help you that much. But if someone adds something to the discussion, then this is what you're looking for. Also saves, DMs, follows, all of these amplify reach, because this is a clear signal for the algorithm that your content is valuable, that people are interested in it, and that it triggers discussion on LinkedIn, and that's what the platform wants. And the best time to post is in general Tuesday to Thursday, 10 to 11 a.m., and that is in your audience's time zone. And that's a general tested rule. It's research and it also worked for us, but make sure it stands for you and your specific audience by trying different times, just to make sure they don't have different preferences. Okay, so now we know who should be posting on LinkedIn, what should be posted on LinkedIn, but here's the thing, posts alone don't make you an expert. You need to be recognizable and active on LinkedIn. The first thing to do to achieve this is your banner. Basically, it should be showing what you specialize in, what your expertise is, but also showing a clear photo of you so people can associate a face with what you're saying. In your post, you should be tagging collaborators, clients, press, whoever is relevant in this post, because this is a way to grow a community around you. And most importantly, engage elsewhere. And by elsewhere, I mean not only under your posts, but adding meaningful comments to other people's posts, joining groups, building relationships before you sell. Because social selling, and that's what you essentially do on LinkedIn, isn't sending offers right away, because that's spam. So Kate told you that she gets so many emails that sometimes she misses important ones. And I don't get that many emails, but I get a lot of LinkedIn messages. And usually people just invite me, they send a message or not even that, and then immediately go to selling. And they offer some link building services, CRMs, whatever. But it never works, even if I need something, because I don't see why I should be buying from them. I don't know if you have the same experience, but if somebody just writes to me the moment we met, then I don't really trust them yet. So what you can learn from my story is that instead of sending random people some brochures, you need to build over weeks. And that includes discussing industry topics, exchanging advice, showing your personality, showing your knowledge. When people already recognize you and then you reach out, then you make messages about them, not you, and they will be more prone to engage with you and even buy from you. But often when you're a good thought leader, actually people reach out to you because they see the value you give them. So as you can see, there are many activities related to being a good thought leader. And to stay on track with these activities, it's good to have a weekly plan. For example, you can devote Mondays to doing some research and targeting, Fridays for outreach. Even 30 minutes on these chosen days is better than just posting. Okay, so I've been talking about valuable content on LinkedIn and the power of it, but what does valuable mean in this case? It can be behind the scenes lessons, it can be case studies, even anonymous if needed, some strong opinions, of course, keep some balance, frameworks, how-tos, all of these should include some personal parts. Like once in a while, you can post something about you, like your career path, your lessons, events you attend, like some metaphors to hobbies you enjoy, anything that will connect people on a more human level with you. Also structure your content. Basically, you start with something called a hook. These are the first 2 lines of your post. And the goal of having this hook in your post is to be noticed on the wall. When people are scrolling, they have to stop because you wrote something that draws their attention. And this could be a question, a strong statement, personal detail, something mysterious, anything that works for your target audience. And this is also something you can test. And in the post itself, you need to give value. And this value, it doesn't have to be educational. So you don't need to share insights nonstop. It can be something entertaining or inspirational as well. And to end the post, you need to have a clear call to action so people know what to do after consuming your content. So you ask a question to start a discussion, you encourage people to follow you for more content like this, basically tell them what you expect them to do. And when it comes to good formats, we identify carousels, videos, text with image, and polls. But with polls, you need to be careful because first you need to build your audience, then post a poll, simply to have some participants, right? So you don't want to have just one vote. Ideal length of post in theory is 800 to 1000 characters, but it's also a good practice to mix in shorter posts, even asking one simple question to your audience or sharing one short thought. So to conclude this slide, let's talk about do's and don'ts. So do, for me, with a huge exclamation mark, is to use your own voice. You need to be authentic, which Kate also underlined, direct, human. You need to hook quickly and be yourself. And how to do it? You just need to write and communicate like you do in real life. So nothing fancy, just try to say it and then just write it. And like Kate mentioned, AI is changing how we need to approach marketing, also on LinkedIn, because we are all starting to ignore content that sounds and feels robotic. And moving to don'ts, avoid empty buzzwords. This is AI specialty, I feel. Also avoid hiding the main point. So it shouldn't be buried in your third paragraph because some people won't even get there. And do not sound too corporate. So yes, on topic of not sounding too corporate, I would like to quickly talk about this fun versus professionalism debate that is around LinkedIn, but also B2B marketing in general. Somehow we tend to think that when we market to when we do B2B marketing, we need to be serious, and it is the best way to build trust, maybe the only way to build trust. But in reality, connections come from being human, and it shows every day for us at 42DM. So don't be afraid to use emotional tone, informal tone, sometimes some humor, personal stories. You need to show your personality because it makes you memorable. It also makes you you. So this is what builds trust. And here on the slides, you can see some posts from Kate, which might be surprising for you as she is a CEO. And here you can see some memes, but these actually get us engagement. They stop people from scrolling further. And for me, most importantly, they show her fun and helpful side because this is how she is in person. And this is how she connects with people. So this is it, all I have to say about thought leadership today. And I would love to know what one tip will you like to try for thought leadership from what I shared today. So while you're letting me know about this in the chat, let's go back to Kate and she will tell you a little bit more about the delivery part. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susanna. It was incredibly helpful, and thank you for the examples. And it was very, very sweet. But we need to understand that as soon as we got our voice out there, it's time to turn the engine and build and turn the engine, this adaptive delivery engine of ABM that helps to get your message in front of the right people with the right content at the right time. And that is what we will be talking right now. So what we wanted to visualize for you this engine in the most common way. That is why this is a funnel, and that is exactly how the engine works. So first, on the top stage of the funnel, we establish the credibility and build this trust with the thought leaders. We need to make sure that thought leadership posts are seen by the right people, and thought leaders are aligned with the relevant members of the buyers committee. So you distribute by job titles and allocate relevant job titles to the relevant thought leaders in your thought leadership band. How you do the advertising and how you do the distribution, it's actually on you. You can do it with LinkedIn advertising. You can use more advanced tools, as we've seen here. Somebody is using Sixth Sense, somebody is using demand base. And you even can actually go cost efficiently and start doing that with organic. Susanna already shared with you that you can build the organic reach. Now you just need to adjust your network to make sure that the people you're interested in from your target account list are within your connections. And that is the way you set up the automations for Connect or do it manually. You actually invite the people who you're interested in into your thought leadership networks. And then as soon as your thought leaders warm up the accounts at scale, you can start going deeper into those relations, and you can start align on the pain points on the product. You can show them that you are not just the expert, that you have something to offer for them. And by the way they engage with this content, you can understand what are the pain points they feel, what are the relevant hooks for them. And that adds the context into your relationships. By that, you are still on this stage, you are still connecting on the account and like buyer persona, job titles or job functions level. But as soon as they respond, like by clicking to the pain point ad, responding to some of your messages, going to the website when you're showcasing the success stories that resolves the pain, you're moving to the contact level. You understand who are those people behind the job titles, who are responding to you. For that, you have an amazing opportunity because you have the tech stack in place that can help you with that on scale. You have RB2B to uncover no, can't come back yet. No, not there yet. Can we go back to the brief? Yep, good. So you have the tech stack that will help you to uncover the people behind that. And as soon as you understand those people, you can start building the real connection. And this connection will go, okay, amazing. We can connect on LinkedIn, or we are already connected. We can start the conversation. We can connect on LinkedIn if they appeared on your website and they've seen your ad and haven't been connected with you. Then you can start the sequence, but more personalized one, because you have the context on what their pains are and how high is the intent, because you score them on each and every stage. You understand how many times they engage. You understand what they've been looking for. And you really know the context that is a foundation of meaningful relationship. And that is when you start this communication, you can become much deeper than just after the random cold outreach review of the contact LinkedIn card or lead in Apollo, because of the context you have. You are not guessing. You reach out to warm contacts with timely, relevant messages. Via LinkedIn outreach, email, and even contact level target ads. And that is actually amazing amplifier and supporter, because this way you're making sure that even when you are not near, they are surrounded with you, they see your content, and you know exactly what they've seen. And that is providing you even more context on what they are into, how they respond, and allows you to build more personalized offers, invite them to relevant events, whatever that you do to build the relations and move them forward. And because you've been relevant on each and every stage of this funnel, you delivered helpful content, you've done all the nice things, you have the actual opportunity, you've built those relations, you can turn trust into revenue. It's not about inviting for a date. You actually can make a proposal. And there is 5 times more chance to get yes after that proposal, because those accounts are not cold. They are warmed up. We will probably answer I see the questions coming. We will answer all of them at the end. And that is very important. And now we are moving to the tech stack. And we need to understand that AI not only disrupted our funnel, but also helped us a lot. There are a lot of amazing, very helpful, very great and useful AI tools that can support all of this journey and help you gather the context, identify the intent signals, and prioritize properly and enrich the data. All of those tools are supporting you stage by stage. Like if you're starting lean, you start with LinkedIn ads, you support the organic connection with Phantom Buster. Then you retarget, you drive the audience to the website. You have RB2B and Trigify to support this journey. Then you launch the super cadence or inflow to ads, and they are contact based. And you have this, each of those insights are contributing to your custom scoring. And that is how you really understand what's going on there. You warm up, you engage, you convert, you do it on repeat. And that is how you get dozens of satisfied customers, not just successful connections. But we need to understand, like, how we can make this thing work with numbers. Does those numbers even relevant for you? For that, we provide the quick overview. First, you need a target account list of 1,000 to 2,000 accounts to start with. You need a tech stack of at least $800 a month. Do not spend right away on all of those amazing fancy ABM platforms. You can build a very lean and very precise tech stack using your existing CRM like HubSpot or Salesforce, Trigify, RB2B, Phantom Buster, and maybe a couple of connectors. And that can be a great combo up to $1,000 or $800 a month. But you need to invest in ads because visibility matters, and relying solely on organic will not gonna work. Will just slow down the whole results thing. But if you invest 3-5K months in the promotion of this content and connection and remarketing, then ramp up of this quantity of count can take 2-3 months. And by the end of month 3, you can really get 3-4 qualified opportunities. This is this simple. And if the math is with you, this is a great engine to turn on. In order to prove that, we have a very quick success story. I know we are 2 minutes beyond the timing here, so I will be very, very quick. One of the customers of ours, Cybersecurity SaaS company, targeting regulated non-tech enterprises with very outdated infrastructure. So those are probably the hardest ICPs and buyer personas to convert because CISOs are incredibly not into marketing and very overwhelmed with everybody attacking them. And the non-tech enterprises are not so into the digital marketing, everything. So those are hard to get ICPs. And this space is defined with long sales cycle, low brand awareness, and a complex buying committee. The regular strategies like parallel, let's run ads and do the outreach with SDRs is never work here. But if the system is put right in place and you have the target account list that works, and you do step-by-step nurturing with LinkedIn ads, like we launched Thought Leadership Plus influencers because our thought leaders were not as mature. We ran remarketing with intent-driven ads and identified who are into us. We supported those contacts we triggered those sequences and supported the communication with even incentive demos because we knew those are the right people to invest in. At the end of month 6, we got 12 ARPs. And that was, for this category, a very big success for the marketing program. Because that's the core of this approach. And when you get it right, the results follow. You can get 5x of what you regularly get from cold outreach or regular demand generation campaigns. Just focus, invest in relevance, trust, and proper engines to distribution, like adaptive distribution engines. And everything will be great with your ABM and sub-leadership combo. That's it from me for today. And thank you all. And that's all from us as a content. Rob, let's dive into questions. Do we have any?
Absolutely. Kate, Zuzana, thank you both so much for the great information there. I know we dove really deep into some things and we're a little bit over, but I hope you guys found the value in it. What we've got on screen before we dive into the questions is I have 10 slots for us to do an ABM architecture audit and relevance roadmap for you. So you saw what we laid out here. Sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. While you scramble to get your phone to scan that QR code, we're going to go through the questions. I've only got 10 slots available, so please book now. We will coordinate with you guys after the fact. But let's dive into the questions. So the first question we have from an anonymous attendee says, ABM lately seems to require huge effort before getting any results. ICP building, checking, confirming, account mapping, all of that stuff. Is it possible to make it more nimble or agile in the sense of like proving stuff out, adjusting and learning? Kate, Susanna, open the floor to either of you.
Okay, I can probably start here. If you like, yes, it is possible. And in this case, you can like, you will still need to build those target account lists. They can be smaller, and you can like narrow the investment into the paid ads, just making sure that you have like all the intent signals possible, like at least RB2B. You can probably monitor your social media engagement manually if the scale is not that big. And you can start on this small list and see if when you are warming up and showing up with content to the specific people and they start liking you, you then connect with them, like, and you offer, for example, the discovery meeting if you have a better connection. If this is true, then you have your MVP and proof of concept like ready, and you can. So like invest in like not very big list that you can work with manually, that is from very narrow niche, relevant pain point. Identify with Clay those like minor signals that show the intent. Invest in connecting with those people, making sure they start liking you on social media. And when they do, connect with them and outreach. And if you see some warm relations going, think on like broader program.
Love that.
I could also add that on the side of thought leadership on LinkedIn, you could choose several accounts and just focus on them. So build your content around what they are looking for. Like, you know, check out what their activity is, what kind of questions they ask, what they like. And if you just focus on 10 people, it's possible to see, even in Sales Navigator, there's this LinkedIn tool that you can use to, you know, kind of stalk their activity and later on reply through your profile. So yeah, that would be a tip from me when it comes to LinkedIn.
Great. I appreciate that. Those answers are very thorough. So the next question we've got is, how do you engage sales teams to actually execute on those touch points? That's a great question. How would you motivate the team?
That's an amazing question, and that should be like a buy-in in between CMO and CRO. They need to agree on making this together, because this is a pretty big investment in terms of time and dedication. And from one side, from another side, salespeople love short sales cycles. Salespeople adore bonuses at the end of the months and at the end of quarters, half year, whatever your system is look like. And when they see those initial results, that warmed up accounts really respond, they are not ghosting and they are moving forward, give them this taste of the win. They will be the ones who will be hunting you in order to get more of those.
Speaking myself as a salesperson, I agree with all of that. The minute it starts working, we are down for working with that. Great. And we have one last question in the chat. And Othman said that this is a really eye-opening session, so thank you guys again. He's curious on how one can foster a culture of engagement and open communication while staying true to yourself in the current climate of constant emerging trends.
Interesting. And that's probably, I will partially cover that, and then I will pass the word to Zuzana, because maybe that is much more the content question.
Sure.
Okay, as for me personally, I just like, there are a lot of trends going on. Everybody is copying everybody's content. As soon as something became popular, I see at least 5-10 more posts that are exactly the same without uniqueness and so on and so forth. They gain some engagement, but nothing compared to this first person who posted that. So that is my like navigator on authenticity. If you really have something to say it. If you do not have something to say, you can keep the silence mode, because just jumping on every trend possible, you're becoming the part of the AI noise. And sticking to yourself as like a genuine nice person who knows the stuff they are doing, this is actually the best like recipe for success.
Absolutely.
I would absolutely agree with Kate here that we don't need to talk about absolutely every trend, and you don't need to be an expert on every trend. Even if you don't know that much on the topic, you can still contribute with some thoughts you have, or you can just ask the audience. You don't need to always deliver the value. You can just start the discussion. And I would also say that, just deliver value within what you are an expert in, and just stick to yourself, because this way also you grow your personal brand. Like, people start recognize you for something. So it's good not to grab everything, but have a narrative line, I would call it. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the
I just want
question.
to, sorry, what was that, Susanna?
Oh no, just thank you for the question.
Just to add to that, really, you'd find those content pillars very valuable. Just find those 3 to 5 things that you can talk about really confidently, and just start creating that content. Recency builds familiarity, and familiarity builds trust. So, everything that Susanna had said earlier about consistency, same time of week, all of that stuff really, really does help. I've seen it work for myself personally, so I can see that definitely working for a lot of businesses. That brings us to the end. Thank you guys so much for the time. I know an hour out of your day can be a lot, so I hope it brought you some value. If you haven't claimed your spot yet, do so now. Looking forward to it, and see you guys next time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, and see you.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.